Sometimes when people stop drinking alcohol, they can actually end up feeling a lot worse. Sure, there are people out there that stop drinking and feel great from day one, they're on it. But for a lot of us, it can be this doomy, gloomy period of a month of low energy, low mood, irritability, and so on. So in this video today, that's what I want to discuss. I want to discuss why you feel bad after stopping drinking and what exactly you can do about it. What should your mindset be around how you feel when you've stopped drinking? So hey guys, my name is Leon Sylvester. I run a company called SoberClear where we help business owners and professionals stop drinking without AA, willpower, and rehab. Now, if you want to get access to a new training that I just made talking about how to apply first principles thinking to get 100% control of drinking alcohol, then make sure to click the link in the description. You'll be able to get instant access to that video training, so make sure to check that out. But for now, let's talk about why you feel bad after stopping drinking and what you should do about it. So I live in Chiang Mai, which is the north of Thailand. It's the second largest city of Thailand, and I go to a gym here, and it's a CrossFit gym. So one of my friends has just come back. So basically, at the moment, I'll just quickly explain. But Thailand has kind of locked down, but they're letting people in as long as they do a 14-day quarantine. So a few of my friends are starting to trickle back into Thailand now. And one of my friends has just done the quarantine, has just come back, and we've started training again. So we're doing powerlifting training. This story will make sense, just bear with me. So we've been doing powerlifting, we've been doing strength training, and before this, I was doing a lot of CrossFit. So a lot of cardio. My strength wasn't very high. So I've done, a couple of weeks now of powerlifting again, getting the strength back up. And today I had a personal training session with a trainer in the gym. So he's a personal trainer that does CrossFit training. So I did this CrossFit session. Trust me, you'll understand why I'm telling you this in a second. But after the session, I felt absolutely horrendous. I had a headache, I felt a bit dizzy, and I literally had to sit down outside of the gym for 15 minutes and just kind of let my body just replenish. We did these front squats, we used the assault bike, we did these front lunges. It was a really brutal session, and I felt really, really bad. Now, why am I telling you this? I felt bad because that is a part of life. We are going to go through difficult things. And I know this sounds a little bit basic, but when we stop drinking, it doesn't mean that all of our problems will go away like that, right? We will still have to deal with difficulties. We will still have to deal with challenges. But what happens when you don't drink is you become better equipped at dealing with them. So that workout was extremely challenging, but I got through it. And I rested and I just replenished myself, I recharged, and now I feel okay. And now I'm making this video on that. That's why I kind of wanted to make this video today. Because people can often complain about having a cold or having a flu-like symptom after stopping drinking. But the difference is just because you feel bad, it doesn't mean that you should poison yourself. It doesn't mean that you need to start sabotaging yourself and destroying yourself just because you feel a little bit bad. And what you can end up doing is you can almost use these bad emotions when you're first stopping drinking to know that you are doing something good for yourself. So whilst I was absolutely exhausted after that training session, it was like this nice feeling of pain. It's quite hard to describe, but I'm sat there and I'm sweating and my head is pounding and I'm oh, that sucked. I'm so happy that's over. But then the endorphins kick in and you start to get this good feeling. And by going through that pain and going through that difficult period and that period where you don't feel that good, afterwards on the other side, you're oh, I feel quite awesome. And that's probably why I wanted to make this video. My energy's up, I'm feeling happy. And it's because I went through that period of pain, and on the other side, there was a great reward to be had. And I think that is a great way for you to think of the difficult period after stopping drinking. For some people, they're gonna stop drinking, and on day one, they are gonna feel superhuman. And what you may often find is if you're reading other people's stories of other people that have stopped drinking, and you're trying to get inspiration from other people's experiences, you may read somebody a younger person like myself that stopped drinking in the late 20s, and I was okay. I got on with things quite quickly. But for some people, especially the people that I work with in the SoberClear program, I have people that I've worked with that have drank every day for 10, 15, 20 years. And for them, it took a lot longer until they started to feel like themselves again. They had maybe even up to a month where sleep wasn't good, energy wasn't good, irritability was higher, and they just didn't feel at 100%. But what they did is they got through it. They used the pain to get through the hard time. They use the pain to remind themselves that they're flushing their body out of their toxins. They're doing something good for themselves. And what you can do is you can actually turn that pain into a pleasurable feeling. Now, you may have had this experience before when you might have had a big project that you had to do, a big piece of work, and the work was hard, but you just went through the pain, and at the end of the pain, the pleasure was there. Now, when it comes to stopping drinking, the pleasure of being a non-drinker will blow your brains out. You will just absolutely love it. It is one of the best things ever. The clarity, the great health, the confidence, the courage, being able to set new goals and really reach your potential in life. The pain that you go through to become a non-drinker and to kind of like just get through that gritty part, I'm telling you, the trade-off will blow you away. It is like nothing you'll have ever experienced before, because when you don't drink, you can really be the person that you want to be. You don't need to poison yourself and have these blocks, and you can just get rid of that stuff. And whilst that isn't necessarily a straightforward path for absolutely everybody, and it's gonna be a bit of a roller coaster, there's gonna be some emotions, it doesn't mean that you need to drink. You can get through these things. This is just life, and this is why I wanted to share that story with you, because life can be hard. I'm not saying that when you don't drink that you're not gonna have difficulties, but the difference is you approach them with a different mindset. You approach these difficulties with a feeling of, I feel good, I'm a non-drinker, I'm just gonna go through it and I'm gonna work through it, and at the end of it, I know that the real rewards are there. And this is gonna sound strange, but the greater the sacrifice whilst you are going through any painful period after becoming a non-drinker, well, the greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. So the more pain that you feel, the better that you are gonna feel coming at the end of that, after that month, after that few weeks of flushing your body out of the toxins. The greater the pain, the greater the reward. So if you feel absolutely like really bad, I'm not saying like if you've got some serious withdrawal, obviously that needs addressing, but if you just feel bad, if you feel lethargic, if you just don't feel motivated, well, when you get out of that, just think how good you are gonna feel. You're gonna feel so good. Anyway, guys, do make sure to click the link in the description to get access to that first principles training. And if you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about the one thing I learned that got me to stop drinking forever, as well as how alcohol affected my anxiety. Thanks a lot.